Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Literary Levity.
I love this show. I hope there's tons of it too.
Without further ado,
Dang it, I jinxed it.
I would like to introduce tonight's guest stars. Two people who each went on special trips, one to find a man and the other to save a man. Now let's give a warm welcome to Huck and Marlowe.
I's mighty glad to be here, mister.
I as well am grateful for the opportunity to be on your show.
And we're glad to have you. Now, time for some questions. These questions are fan submitted. The first one is from Mr. Finn.
Who dat?
That's you.
Yeah, I knew that. I was just testing you and you passed.
First question: how has having met Jim changed your perspective on people of color? And do you still think that you're going to hell for helping Jim?
Jim? Nah. He a white man on the inside, unlike them Indians and Wakers we got on that farm. Besides, me and Jim spend a lot of time together. We brothers now. So even if I gotta go to the bad place for him, it's worth it.
There you have it, folks, from the man himself. Next question's for Marlowe. How has meeting Kurtz affected your views on humanity?
Well, it's a tough question, but meeting him did give me mixed feelings. It's true, firstly, what they say about meeting your heroes. It's highly disappointing. I mean, not that I idolized him or anything. I mean, nothing. I'm holding that for a friend. But yes, meeting him was a real eye-opener. I mean, the man had shrunken heads lining the entrance to his house. And the mere fact that they were facing inward towards his house was a bit twisted and rather hard to explain in any rational way. But despite the rather prevalent signs that he had lost his grip on reality, he was actually a rather interesting man.
I see. Well, we'll be back after this quick commercial break.
I'm graduating high school right now. I haven't finished applying for college. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Then get another life at Student Life at STC. Sounds great.
And we're back.
Glad to be back.
Likewise.
Now we actually have a question for the both of you. How do you think your respective journeys changed you, and do you think it was for the better?
Well, I know I did change a bit. For example, I grew this here nifty mustache. In all seriousness though, I think that I done got more mature, and thanks to Jim and the lessons that he taught me, I learned some respect for those around me.
May I ask what lessons he taught you?
Shoot, well, that's easy. He taught me how to make sense of the world, and he also taught me how to recognize about the hypocrisy of the world.
Do you mean hypocrisy?
Yeah, that.
And how about you, Marlowe?
I'd like to believe that my journey allowed me to mature not only in comportment but in temperament as well. Though to refer to my growth as mere change is frankly a bit insulting, especially as I have now learned to see the truth in this world and the true depth of the depravity in this heart of darkness.
Wow, very insightful. Though, how did you learn these truths, and what are they?
Ah, yes, well, these truths are that given enough power and sufficient autonomy, any man, no matter how righteous, will always give in to the baser natures and deeply rooted darkness in their hearts, as well as the understanding that every place, no matter how civilized, was once dark and uncivilized. Now, as for how I learned these truths, they came to me during my time with Kurtz. Well, at least the basic notions did. You see, it wasn't till after his unfortunate passing that I truly had an opportunity to think introspectively on these ideas.
Shoot, well, I learned the opposite. When me and Jim was by ourselves on the river, we got along right fine, but almost even as equals. But the second we set foot on shore, we was back where we started. Me, a white boy that ain't want no civilizing, and Jim, an escaped slave.
From what I hear, you were never alone, as you always either had Jim or the false Duke and Dauphin. Whereas my point is that when a man is truly alone, that is when his inner darkness consumes him.
Wow, well, you boys have given us a lot to think about, but I'm afraid that's all the time we have left. Until next time, I'm your host, Joshua Morin, on Literary Levity.